Good morning again, and welcome to the fourth hour of the Greg Belfrage Show. It's great to have you along. Let's take a look at what's going on this morning. The the aftermath of Hurricane Helene is just absolutely incredible. There is get a load of this. This story from Fox News this morning. Navy veteran clinging to a tree for hours before being swept away by the hurricane. And there's some video here. 75-year-old Navy veteran. There are a number of these stories that are coming out of the hurricane, unfortunately, and they're just incredibly heartbreaking. I shared several others during the program this morning, so I don't want to revisit what I've already shared with you. This I have not talked about previously. So he, folks remembering him, 75-year-old Navy veteran. That is, it's really incredible. So just the incredible devastation that we are seeing as a result of this hurricane is just absolutely mind-numbing, I think, to see how widespread this is. There are some stories along a different vein that that David's saying he's not shocked that FEMA has a preferred vendor list. Yeah, we talked about that at the conclusion of the program this morning. Pretty incredible, wasn't it? As you listen to those stories, folks sharing that. Steve is saying, just sickens me. All the money in the world for Ukraine, Israel, and illegal aliens, but not for American citizens in need. What is life worth under the Biden administration? $750. Yeah, it's pretty incredible, isn't it? Pretty jaw-dropping, a lot of these events that we see unfolding right now. And I'm sorry to say it's not getting any better. I would like to be able to deliver some good news for a change. And I think the good news is the takeaway, you got to feel uplifted by the incredible efforts of everyday Americans and what they're doing to try to help. You know, the federal government's in the way. I don't think that surprises anybody, unfortunately. The government I'm from the government and I'm here to help. I mean, and now it's not even that anymore. You know, Ronald Reagan once said, you know, were the scariest words that Americans can hear. I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Now it's not even that the government's there to help anymore. They're putting up obstacles trying to stop people who truly want to help. And that's what I just find so incredibly frustrating and heartbreaking in that story that I shared in the final hour of the show this morning. It is just absolutely incredible. So there are some other stories and some other news that I do want to share with you this morning as we're talking about the hurricane. This is actually from the American Mind. Forgotten America in Crisis is the story. And it talks about the military's response to Hurricane Helene. And it goes on to say that it shows that they're unwilling to provide for the American people. And get a load of this, the comparison between what days after Hurricane Helene, the Biden-Harris administration finally activated up to 1,000 soldiers to support the delivery of food, water, and medicine. Do you know that? And it goes on to talk about the response after Hurricane Katrina. 7 hours. 7 hours the federal government responded under George W. Bush. 7 hours versus then days that it took the Biden-Harris administration to finally do something. It's just, it's really kind of striking. And then this goes on to say, apparently it's not worth a call to the soldiers of the 101st Air Assault Division, who are 7 hours away, the 2nd Marine Division, which is stationed only a few hours away. But the people of North Carolina only seem to be sending a small contingent of active duty troops, some phone calls to Delaware, and a few photo opportunities. Again, this is a pretty incredible piece at the AmericanMind.org. It's just AmericanMind.org. You'll find it. It's America in Crisis. No kidding. That's kind of the story of the day, every single day of the week. Unfortunately, the also I want to share some. Yeah, and David rightly remembers that George W. Bush was crucified for the delay, 7 hours. And it took 7 hours. And look what the Biden administration, and again, I think you've got a lot of Americans, frankly, they're just too young to remember what happened at that time. It's pretty incredible. There's some video from the president here, which is just absolutely incredible. That this is jaw dropping. Seriously, I've not mentioned this yet today. So this is Joe Biden, and okay, the reporter says, "What do the states in the storm zone need after what you saw today?" And the president then responded, "Now it's difficult to hear, but I'm going to actually play the video for you because this is just, I mean, it's stunning." So what do states in the storm zone need after what you saw today? That's the question.
What do the states in the storm zone need, Mr. President? Okay. What do the states in the storm zone, what do they need after what you saw today?
Oh, in the storm zone?
Yes, sir.
I'm wondering what storm you're talking about.
I didn't know.
They get everything they need.
They have everything that they need.
They're very happy.
They're very happy. So he said they have everything they need. They're very happy. That's the response from the president. And what storm zone are you talking about? I didn't even know what you were talking about. Wow. That is just jaw-dropping. I'm just seeing that this morning. It's absolutely incredible. Oh, the storm zone. Oh, I didn't know what the hell you were talking about. What? I mean, seriously, what universe does this guy live in? It's just absolutely incredible. So I wanted to share that audio with you this morning. And there's some follow-up to this. There's a piece at the Blaze in response to this. I'm not the only one who finds it shocking. The president suggesting that people affected by the hurricane, they're happy. Oh, they're happy. They're happy with what we're doing. No, all is well. Everything's going great down there. After the last hour of the program and what I just shared with you about what people are having to try to go through to get, assistance to those. You got Americans standing by. They want to help. They want to help. They want to play a part. They want to do whatever they can, and they're there. And the government absolutely, the government's not just getting in the way. The government is throwing up roadblocks. And this is just absolutely incredible. So this piece at the Blaze, the president signaled an understanding of the disaster's impact, which he did. And then a reporter's asking him, and I just showed you the clip, what do they need? Sorry? He says, what are states in the storm zones? What do they need after what you saw today? Oh, in the storm zone. I'm wondering which storm you're talking about. What in the hell other storm is there? What other storm are people talking about right now? I mean, wow. Talk about not having a grip on reality. They've got everything they need. They're very happy across the board. Really, you think that's what's coming out of these areas right now is happiness? They're very happy across the board. I mean, that's the response of a president who doesn't know and doesn't give a crap. I mean, do you think for a moment he cares about what's going on when that's what he's saying? Is he even aware? I mean, seriously, that's a question I ask myself. Is he even aware of what's going on when he says stupid things like that? That is, this is one of those things we should all be in agreement. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. What we're seeing is awful. What's happening down there is just devastating. And they're happy. They have everything they need. Really? This is, it's crazy. Terry responding to the president's comments. President is so useless, and it's not enough a political statement. Not sure Americans have benefited from him. Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And then Sean said, Biden is living lost in his own mind. You've got to wonder if that's what's going on. How can he at one time, be, and he has been, he was out there and again, he was slow in responding. No question about that. Very, very slow in responding, but he was touring the storm area this week and, seemed to, it's almost like there are two different Bidens. You get the Joe Biden who is, lame at best, but there. And then you've got this guy who is, I wonder what storm you're even talking about. I mean, what? Wow. What's going on with him that he could be seriously, that he could just be that, as I don't even know how to describe it. David said, Biden has important things on his mind. Where's the ice cream? So I really appreciate what you guys are saying. It's just absolutely incredible. So that's a great story at the Blaze. And where was that other one at? And where the video, PJ Media is where that video came from. You can see it there. I think it was PJ Media. Oh, wait. I may have closed the wrong. Man, I got so many tabs here going on. All right. Let's move on to other stories that I wanted to share before we wrap up yet another week. And I hope you've got a great weekend planned. Some of the reaction to the current political situation. This is Matthew Dowd on MSNBC. There's some MSNBC insanity today that I'll share with you. This is the first. Matthew Dowd, who was on MSNBC, saying that Trump lies so much during the debates that you got to have commentators fact checking. You've got to have fact checking. So Nicole Wallace said, how much are we sort of in a post-performative political moment? What the hell is that? What the hell is that question? I mean, seriously, these people they speak as, they want to sound so important. Hey, check out the post-performative political moment. What the hell is that? Seriously, I have no idea what that is. I have absolutely no idea. She says the Trump voters taught us they know all this stuff about Trump, but they're with him anyway. So it's all performative on the right. So in other words, Donald Trump's out there performing. And Dowd says, I actually think Donald Trump has tried our souls. And I think people have come to the conclusion we're still a divided country. for all the things we talked about. I think people in the end, people are saying, I can't do this. I voted for him once, twice, but I'm not going to do this. Many are unwilling to say it. I met people in Michigan, and I became friends with a father and his adult son who whispered to me, I'm going to vote for Harris, but I can't tell anybody because it's going to be bad for me where I work because I live in a very red area. Oh, oh, please, please. I don't believe I can't tell anybody, but I'm going to vote for Harris. If that in fact is true, I'm not calling the election. I have no idea. I really don't. I mean, as you look across the mess that is this country today, do you have any idea? Man, who knows? The race is close in some places, and we know it's going to be, a handful of states that are going to call it. I have no idea. Given the lunacy that I'm sharing with you each and every morning, who knows, man? I mean, who knows? But these people at MSNBC, it's just absolutely, absolutely crazy. There's another piece at MSNBC this morning, or in reaction to, I think this is from the New York Post. Here we go. Now, this will lift your spirits, which is why I saved this one till Ari Melber at MSNBC was stunned after Gordon Sondland, a former Trump administration official who has said previously he's not voting for Trump, has now changed his mind. Sondland did. And Ari Melber couldn't, it was shocked. And so apparently, I want to get down to Sondland's actual comments here. Sondland said, I've now lived 4 years under the Biden-Harris policies, and I have to say that those policies are not only becoming an existential threat to our country's way of life, but to our allies as well. And so Melber cuts him off and says, I'm going to let you finish, but this is so striking. He says, oh man, the New York Post drives me crazy. This is so striking. You said it was a no for me after that, after January 6th. And here we are right now, and you're saying it's a yes for you? And Sondland responded emphatically, yes, he will be supporting Trump and J.D. Vance over Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. He said, it's a yes for me. It is an absolute yes for me. That is how badly the Biden-Harris team have prosecuted their job. So Melber pressed him again and said, is talking about January 6th, is that kind of attack on democracy bigger than any policy? Sondland said, I am seeing so many attacks on democracy that eclipse January 6th. I will tell you what I find just absolutely refreshing about this is that you've got Sondland here dealing with reality and got a clear view of what's going on. And this host, Melber Ari Melber at MSNBC, just absolutely blown away by how can anything eclipse January 6th? I mean, what are you talking about? It's great. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else. Sondland said, policy matters greatly because policy translates into our way of life and the way our country operates. He said that Trump's handling of January 6th was not an exemplary thing. And he said that Trump should have admitted he lost the election and moved on. I agree with that. I think he should have. I think Trump should have. But this is crazy. I thought you might appreciate that with Sondland saying it's just absolutely incredible. There's one other story this morning that I did want to share, which is a little bit chilling. And I don't know, is this because I just read 1940, or excuse me, 1984? I just finished that novel, 1984. Again, I mean, and I think I mentioned on the air yesterday, I emphatically recommend 1984 if you've never read it before. It's where Big Brother comes from. Big Brother is watching your car, your license plate, bumper stickers, yard signs. This is a piece at PJ Media. And it goes on to talk about this companies are sending out camera cars to keep their GPS navigation mapping apps up to date. But there are other things then that those, and have you seen the Google trucks when they go by? They're going down the street. You ever seen them? Probably chances are probably good you have. I think a lot of us have. So I'm trying to get to the heart of this. Oh, forgive me. This is why I run it. Oh, here we go. Images that are taken are showing things like, for instance, photos show Trump and Biden, including F. Biden bumper stickers on the back of trucks and cars and so on. One photo taken in November 2023 shows a partially torn bumper sticker supporting the Obama Biden lineup. And so these images were generated by AI powered camera. And what it means now is, again, cameras initially designed to capture license plates. Now they're photographing political lawn signs outside of private homes, individuals in their t-shirts and the text on their t-shirts, vehicles displaying pro-abortion bumper stickers, all while recording the precise locations of these observations. Newly obtained data reviewed by Wired shows how a tool originally intended for traffic enforcement has evolved into a system capable of monitoring speech protected by the U.S. Constitution. And this goes on. They're saying it's not just the images that are concerning, the AI tech, and what we've seen. It's a pretty incredible story. Again, this is a PJ Media. Big Brother is watching your car, your license plate, bumper stickers, yard signs. And that's a little bit of a, no, Steve, I understand that. Steve says, monitor me all you want. Things won't change. No, I totally understand that. That's not what it's about. Go read 1984. And, what about when the government starts deciding to respond? What about, so you're saying, okay, I don't care. Everybody can see this. I appreciate that. I don't think you're getting the larger point, because the larger point is what happens when the government starts grabbing a hold of those things and penalizing you for what, okay, you're not going to change. What happens when the government steps in and says, I'm sorry? That's the issue. And that's the concern. And I mean, again, this is why I really encourage you to read, 1984 again, because there are so many things in that novel you're going to go, okay, am I reading a novel or am I reading current events? I mean, I just went through the book again, and it's very much on my mind. But there are times you go, man, it's scary how much that book foreshadowed these kinds of things that we're seeing right now. So being seen is not the issue. Obviously, I'm not concerned about that. I'm on the radio. I make my opinions known. You do too when you call in. So I'm not concerned about those things. But what about when the government starts taking action? And the more of this information, okay, you got a yard sign out in your yard. Oh, who's that yard sign for? What about, you know, I think we can get carried away when you start saying, well, what if, what if? I don't like playing the what if game. But I also don't like living in times where I feel like I have to ask, what if? What if the government is paying attention to whose yard signs I've got out, or what bumper sticker I've got on my vehicle? What about if the government starts paying attention to that kind of stuff and noting, coming up with lists? Do you think that is a big reach to arrive at to have those kinds of thoughts? Honestly, I don't think, given the time, do you trust this administration? Do you trust the deep state in the federal government? Do you trust them? That's the issue that I have. We've got so many people that are in government. The federal government is so incredibly bloated and out of control. And when you see these kinds of things, are they happening right now? I'm not saying they are, but could they? The apparatus is in place. So the apparatus is there. It wouldn't take much, I think, and we already saw this, I think, to a degree. Look at what happened with Hunter Biden and the laptop from hell and the government stepping in and telling you. Got even now Mark Zuckerberg saying that at Facebook, the government was encouraged. I talked about this on the show a few weeks back. Zuckerberg saying, he did things that the federal government requiring that he's saying he wouldn't do now, you know. So how far away are these times really from where we are at right now? I really don't think it's a stretch. And that's why I thought that story really caught my attention, and I wanted to share it with you. I'm going to leave it there for today. I do, Denise, I agree with you. Denise says, I want less government, not more. And Tyler, thanks a million. It's my nephew, who is, Tyler, you are so much smarter than me. You're the guy who should be doing this. I mean, seriously, Tyler is just an incredibly smart guy, and I love talking politics with him. He's just, as well as life, got a beautiful family. Tyler, it's good to have you here. It's good to have all of you here. Do me a favor and hit the like button. I'm going to wish you a wonderful weekend. I hope to see you coming up on Monday. So long until then, my friend, and may God bless. It's not ending my stream here.